I am assuming that because you are here, you are a fellow crafter or you have an interest in hobbies. And if you don't have a hobby, you need to find one. There are so many you can choose from. But seriously, no? Hobbies, not only are they a great way to disconnect from what's going on, with the fellow humans around the world and from your job and all those things, but they also make gift giving and souvenir shopping so much easier. Take me for example. I like reading, I like crafting, mostly crochet. I like baking, and I like eating. Is eating a hobby? Whether or not eating is a hobby, that is not the point of today's video. Today we are gathered to talk, show, and tell my Japan craft haul. Although I do hesitate in calling it a haul because, well, I don't consider it that big. And there was a lot of thought put into the things that I purchased. Some of the craft items that I'm going to be chatting to you about today you saw in my Japan vlog video, but if you haven't seen that video and have no interest in seeing that video, don't worry. I'm going to go into full-on detail about the things, crafty things, that I bought in Japan. So first up, we have our visit in Osaka. I revisited Narukawa, which I just like visiting this yarn store because all the yarns are made in Japan and they are, for the most part, 100% cotton, which speaks to the tropical girly in me that, it's already in summer. I know, officially, summer hasn't actually started yet. Or at least at the time that I'm recording this video, the summer solstice hasn't actually happened, so technically, we're not fully in summer. But the heat has settled. As mentioned in the Japan vlog video, my first crafty purchase in Osaka wasn't yarn, it was a magazine. So when we ventured out, it was way too early and we found an open magazine / book stand and the words "Kagibari no ami doku desu ka?" will lead you straight to the crochet. Now this is a spring-summer magazine. It is both knitting and crochet. It has 52 patterns in here. Yes, some of them you could say the pattern is double because it's patterns, but then it's like ways you can deviate from this pattern to make it longer, crop, short, whatever. But in its entirety, it's got 52 patterns of both knit and crochet, and I think they are evenly split. It's not one of those books where you only have one crochet pattern. It has a number of crochet patterns, and you might be thinking, why did you buy a crochet book if it's Japanese? Well, most of the crochet patterns and knit patterns in Japan are charted, so you really need to use a translator for the materials and the hook size given, and the rest you can just read your chart and you're good to go. Now, I'm not an expert chart reader, but the translation part is easy. All you gotta do is take your phone, at least with an iPhone. You take your phone, you kind of point it, and when it focuses on the writing, you click the bars at the bottom to focus on that writing, and then you click translate and it'll pull it up for you. So, seeing as how I only need to know the quantities of yarn and the hook, and maybe if it says repeat this, repeat that, I think we can manage to find a pattern. Now, I absolutely love all the lacy patterns that are included in this magazine. That's why I purchased it. And I especially like the fact that most of the patterns have at least one variation that you can do in terms of length and how you can do a cropped sweater, or you can turn it into a cardigan. You can do long sleeves, you can do short sleeves. I don't know, I really like it. And for 1,300 yen, that is 1,300 yen, this was a steal. Now, after buying this magazine, I approached Narukawa with a certain mindset. And by Narukawa, I mean the yarn store. I wanted to find yarn that was very lightweight and would go with some of the lacy patterns that were included in that book. So I purchased 400 grams of lace weight cotton yarn. The gentleman at the store thought that I was going to weave with it, but no, I told him I was going to crochet with it. Now, this is very, very thread yarn indeed. I think this is like a size 10 Aunt Lydia's or thinner. So my plan is actually to hold it double, but I couldn't resist this deep, beautiful olive jewel tone. It spoke to every single part of my crafty soul. So of course I had to purchase it, and thinking that I'm going to be holding it double, I purchased 400 grams because I figured 200 grams of yarn will certainly be enough to make a crop top or something similar. So that is exciting, and you know, it's very soft and almost has a bit of a halo because of how thin it is. Now, if you're not a fan of green, you probably don't find this yarn pretty, but boy, do I find it pretty. So that was our first yarny purchase. Next up, craft haul wise, this was still in Osaka, by the way. We had our first experience with Daiso, and Daiso is, I don't know how to explain Daiso. It's like a Dollar Tree, but much better, much higher quality, and everything can range from $1 to, sorry, not $1, 100 yen to 300, 400, 500 yens, depending on the material, you know, the item, stuff like that. So if it doesn't have a price, it is 100 yen, which right now would be equivalent to 64 cents. If it does have a price, it'll say whether it's 200, 300, 500 yen. So surprisingly, Daiso had a yarn section, but that is not what I bought at Daiso because I didn't like the colors that were available. I really wanted to bring back some yarn from Daiso though, but the Daiso in Osaka had the most extensive yarn range out of all the other Daisos that we visited, and I didn't find the color I wanted there. So instead, I went for my other crafty recent like, which is journaling or sticker collecting. So I got some really cute stickers, not a lot, just some to kind of go with the sticker designs that I already have, and these were 64 cents US. And I think they're so pretty, and I of course had to get a notebook because look at it, it says tasks and notes and it's blank. And lately I found that I have a love of blank notebooks because I can put whatever I want in there, and if they're lined, I feel constricted to just writing. Oh, in Daiso, I also made a little purchase for my sewing kit. I don't have these, they help you insert your thread through the eye of the needle. Very useful, especially because I had to hem a pair of pants in Japan, so I had to buy needles, I had to buy this, and I had to buy thread. Just goes to show you, you should always travel with a little mini sewing kit so that you can repair any emergencies you have, any clothes emergencies you have. After Daiso and Osaka, we made our way to Kyoto, and in Kyoto I actually did not visit any yarn stores. Instead, I did a little pit stop at Nomura Tailor, which is a sewing shop. They do have yarn, DMC cotton yarn mostly for amigurumis because they sell amigurumi kits, and they also have little felting kits that you can purchase, but I went for the fabric. They had a Cath Kidston collection, okay? The only reason I did not come home with some Cath Kidston themed fabric was because it was in bolts, and I would have, of course, had to say, could you cut this down? I just didn't want to go through that when they had a bunch of Alice in Wonderland fabrics to pick from. So I picked this Alice in Wonderland. This is, I would say, would this be a fat quarter? This might be a little bit smaller than a fat quarter, but I just love it, and it's woven fabric made in Japan, and it feels like it's a cotton linen blend. It might even just be full-on heavyweight linen, but just the prints on it, I cannot leave it behind. And I paired it with some checkered dark brown because picnic. And then I also got a light blue Alice in Wonderland. This one is more hope some of that was in focus. Really hope so. Some of that was in focus. So got this one, which I paired with a lighter checkered. And I also got a little gift for someone. This is bigger than a fat quarter, a lot bigger, but she's beautiful. And the size of these pre-cut cloths, of which they have many, is 110 centimeters by 50 centimeters. I'll put what it is in inches right on the screen. So I'm very happy with these purchases. Next up on our crafty trip, we head to Kanazawa, which is beautiful. If you have the time to spare and the patience to purchase your Shinkansen and limited express tickets, because you need 2 tickets when you're boarding the train to Kanazawa. You need 2 tickets, okay? 2 tickets, just in case. Did we get the 2 tickets at first? No, we did not. And then that was quite an experience. We missed 2 trains, I think. Anyway, once you get your ticket and you're on your way to Kanazawa, I found a little yarn store, little craft store really. It wasn't all yarn. It had needlework, sewing, and some beautiful sewing, what do you call these? Kits for quilting. Oh my goodness, the fabrics. Delicious. If you are a sewist, you have to go to Japan. Their fabrics are beautiful. And take advantage now that the yen is, sadly for Japan, at very low, but for us in the US, it's very approachable. So if you want to bring back a whole store of fabrics, it would be much more affordable now. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. What did I buy in this store? I bought several things. This is a store where I broke my pants and had to get a little sewing kit. So I got some thread, which unfortunately I just saw, oh, they have thread that you can just get and it's a small amount and that's all I need. I didn't read that it was button thread. So a bit thicker, but make do. You know, I also got some clover hand sewing needles. And I started preparing a little kit for a giveaway that I will be doing. And I got some sachiko, which is a traditional Japanese embroidery or needle arts. And I also got some yarn to make a coin purse. Now the coin purse pattern, I will have to locate it. It's somewhere in the mess of that was our luggage. I think I left it in one of the maletas. So I'm gonna have to translate that for you because it's charted, but there are some instructions. So I wanna make sure that I translate the instructions. And to go with that, you of course need a little handle for your coin purse. I don't know, I find coin purses so cute. Do we need coin purses in the United States? I think so. If you don't have coins because all you use is credit cards, then you can put something else in it. Maybe your charging cables when you're traveling, maybe your headset, AirPods, stuff like that. A coin purse is just a name. And what's in a name, right? What's in a name? So this was my little purchase in Kanazawa, and I also got, they had yarn on clearance, so you know I was not going to leave it lonely in the clearance section. So we got this linen floria. This in beautiful various green colors. I think it's supposed to be a gradient. It is Hamanaka linen floria. 49% linen, 51% acrylic, 25 grams, and it's 120 meters in those 25 grams. Now, also, it's made in Japan. I will say this about purchasing yarns in Japan that are local. Why? Why are they always in 25-gram balls? Like, can you not at least do 50? No, it's 25 or 40. Yes. So I got 4 of these, all the ones they had left over in this color, which is color 9, and I think it was on clearance because the color is discontinued, because when I found the yarn online, they don't have color 9 anymore. So I believe it's discontinued. But that was a wonderful little treat to just, we were exploring a mall and we saw, Edison actually spotted that there was a kind of craft store in front of a restaurant, so thank you, husband. Now, after Kanazawa, we did a lot of other adventuring, but as far as crafty purchases are concerned, I did not purchase anything until we went to Ginza, and I found a particularly high-end needlework shop, I would say. I didn't include any pictures of it or any videos because the store had a policy of no pictures and no videos, but it had the most beautiful cross-stitch patterns and just beautiful. Like that's my impression of that store. It was just so classy and beautiful. They did have yarns, but I did not purchase any yarns in that store. I mean, it was more of a needlework store, so I, of course, purchased needlework. And I bought a sashiko kit for myself. This is meant to go in the kitchen in my husband's coffee corner because we have coffee, we have tea. Oh, the store name was hobbyre. Yeah, hobbyre. That's the name of the store. And you can see all the little kind of like cafe themed sashiko things. So, hey, it also has instructions in English. Oh, we're good to go. We're good to go. So I'm excited to learn about this craft. I bought a whole kit, right? I bought the sashiko fabric, and then I bought the yarn that was recommended for thread that was recommended for the pattern, and then needles. Did I put it together? No, the lady in the store very nicely just put it all together for me. I just gave her my credit card. So that was the purchase that I made at Hobbyra, which is a beautiful store. So if you ever find yourself in Ginza, Tokyo, check it out, check it out. Okay. All right, next we go to Shinjuku. And in Shinjuku, you probably will find 2 of the most famous department stores. I feel like everybody that goes to Japan talks about these 2 department stores, and it is Okadaya and Yaruzawa. Now, the Yaruzawa store is located in a mall, which is located above a train station or a metro station on the 6th floor. So it is very small compared to the Yaruzawa? I always say that name wrong. It is Yaruzawa. The Yaruzawa store that we went to in Ueno, which is also located in a mall on the last floor. That one was huge because it had the whole floor to itself. But this one in Shinjuku was very, very small. It did have a good, like, concise collection of yarn, sewing stuff, some fabric, but it wasn't as all-encompassing as the one in Ueno. So I have a little bit of regrets about not venturing out to Ueno, Tokyo and looking at the Yuzawa. I don't know why I always say Yuzawa. It's Yuzawa. I will put the correct name on the screen for you. Whew, sorry, I needed a water break because I haven't talked for so long, in a long time. Right, so where were we? Oh yeah, Okadaya. So Okadaya is a multi-floor craft store in Shinjuku, and that's a good description of it. It's just a multi-craft floor store. I only ventured to the yarn store level. I decided not to tempt myself with any other crafts that I probably would not be starting because I had already treated myself to some sashiko needlework, which I have to learn. I've never done this before, so I decided not to, you know, give myself the extra task of learning another crafty hobby because I'm already a hobby hoarder. I don't need to add another one, okay? But anyway, the yarn section at Okadaya was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. They had a lot of variety, a lot of European yarns. You have some DMC, you had some Regia. You also had yarns that were made in Japan, which is what I tend to go for just because there are a lot of fibers that aren't wool. So we have linen and linen blend yarns, and then we also have cotton, of course, and those speak to me, okay? It is hot outside. I don't want no wool. Even though we've done experiments previously in this channel with wearing wool in the summer, and it's just as hot as wearing any other clothes in the summer, so not trying to diss on the wool lovers. We love all fibers here, except, and this is just a personal thing, okay? I can't work with thread yarns. That's it. That's my only complaint. Or super bulky yarns. Can't do that either. But that's a me thing. Anyway, what did I do in Okadaya? I bought stuff. But the damage that I did, which was about $80 US, was all to make one pattern. So this just, you know, this puts it out there if you're trying to learn how to crochet so you can make your own clothes and save money. Sometimes you don't save money making your own clothes, okay? Okay, just putting that out there. So I was overwhelmed and my husband was like, we've spent 30 minutes in the store already. You are going to get something. We've walked around, you've walked around, you're not leaving the store empty-handed. So we made another book purchase. This one is also, I would call it a bookazine. It's not as big of a pattern collection as the Stylish Casual Knit magazine that I shared previously, but the patterns in here are just as gorgeous. Now, this one has a mix of, this doesn't have such lacy patterns. It tends to be more of your vests with some lace stitches, but mostly just closed knit stitches, right? But I saw two things that I really liked, actually. I love how they've paired this with it as a vest, and the true reason, they had this sample at the store, and while I did not like the colors at all, I love the stitching. And so I had to have it. So I went by total amount of yarn needed, which hopefully will be enough because it's not like I can go back and buy more yarn if I run short, right? So not only did I need to buy yarn for that, I needed to buy a special hook. For my main color, I decided to go with this kind of boned sand color. It's Kotoli by Sawada Ito. And Kotoli is 100, I wrote my notes. It is 100% cotton yarn. It is 40 grams, 173 meters, and it is classified as fine. And the way, I'm gonna open one and show you overhead right now, but the way it is made, I can't decide if it's a tape yarn or if it's a knit tube that just hasn't been stuffed with anything, like a blown knit tube. But not only did I have to buy that, but I also had to buy a 2.20 millimeter crochet hook. I didn't know you had 2.20. Well, C is 2.75, right? And B is 2.25. So I knew that about 2.5, but I'd never seen a 2.20. So I purchased it, and I purchased it in, okay, I love tulip enamel red hooks. Out of the tulip hook range, those are my favorite. I is a little bit sad that the tulip, let's try that again. The tulip reds, the smaller the hook size, the smaller your grip. Which is why I will say in that instance, the crochet the We Crochet dot hooks are superior because they have a very, very nice grip for all of the sizes. Okay, so I got this yarn, this kotoli, in 3 colors. This bare sand color for the main color. I bought all they had left of that, so it's not like I could, you know, I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought I had bought 8. But anyway, 7 was all they had left, so I bought it. And then I also got this gorgeous yellow and then this sagey green. So my idea, let's put a picture here so you can see them nicely. So my idea is, where are we? Dee dee dee. Don't get copyrighted. Okay. So my idea is to have the yellow be the popcorn part for the flower, and then the sagey green to be the stem, and then everything else except for the very decorative edgings will be in the bone white color. Okay, so that is my idea. That is the plan. I just hope it works out, because like I said, I mean, it's the internet. I could probably find someone that ships it, or I could use one of those services. I think it's called Rabbit, maybe, where you pay for them to ship stuff from Japan to you. I'm aware those services exist. I just hope not to need them because, you know, having been there. But as I said, I did buy all that was left of every single color, so. And that, my lovely, beautiful, crafty souls, friends, loved ones, is my Japan craft haul. Tell me, should I call it a haul? What do you think? Did I buy enough yarn? Did I not buy enough yarn? What would you have done in my place had you been in Japan visiting all these different craft stores? Now, like I said, I don't have many pictures of some of them because the video was not okay. And that's fine. I get it. It's very annoying to try and be at a store shopping and have everybody pull out cameras and just be vlogging. It can be annoying. Do I love it? Yes, but it can be annoying for some other people, so I'm not dissing that. Now, let's get back to my questions. What craft supplies would you have bought in Japan? And what fibers would you have bought in Japan? The only fiber that did not make it into my collection, and I am sad about that, is silk. I did not find a silk, 100% silk yarn that I liked. Actually, I don't think I remember seeing any 100% silk yarn. Yeah, that's what it was. Because I did see mohair silk. But as you knows, I do not do mohair. No, I don't. So that was kicked to the curb. But the most important question right now is, which of these craft projects should I tackle first? And do you want me to record and do a video about it, like a vlog style video about it? So, to recap, we have patterns from the Casual Knit magazine that I can do. And we have the summer wear tulip tank that I don't know if I can do because I'm trying to read that chart, but I have never been able to read a chart that uses front post stitches correctly, so I'm a bit nervous, but I figure we'll probably do a swatch and try to figure it out that way. But hey, I want to make it, so it'll happen. So vote on which of these do you think that I should tackle first. Now, I have some ideas, I do, and my vote is towards not reading the chart that uses treble posts and front post stitches right now, because I do have, I only have 2 garment projects cast on. Oh, that's not too bad at all. Oh, for some reason I thought I had more. Should it be another crochet garment, or should we explore a different craft together? And, you know, add things to the arsenal of all the things I'm gonna buy if I get into this craft. So, let me know. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and like I said, let me know what sort of damage would you have done in Japan, what yarn would you have come back with, and which of these projects should be tackled first, okay? I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is always a joy and a pleasure to be able to spend a little bit of crafty time with you, and definitely that you allow me to spend crafty time with you. That is why I keep doing this. So thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Thank you for all your lovely, kind comments on past videos, and I will see you in the future. Happy crafting!